Good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. I'm glad that you could be with us this afternoon. Today, as you can see off to my right, I've got Jan. Jan from New York City saves money. And what we're going to discuss are things that get on our nerves, tick us off, whatever, however you want to look at it. And, you know, so we'll see where the conversation takes us. This should be pretty interesting. So, hey Jan, glad that you're able to come aboard. I appreciate it.
Hi, Steve. Hi,
I
everybody. How's everybody doing, Steve? I hope everybody's doing well. As always, it's a pleasure to
Yes,
be on your show.
mhm, of course.
Just want to tell the folks, Steve, first of all, that we appreciate every one of you. Just always know that. But going to talk a couple of minutes about certain situations because let's take being on the platform that we enjoy being on, the platform that you are viewing us on, without naming names. It's not the platform. The platform is the ability to convey the messages that we have. But I find it fascinating because we wear two roles. I wear two roles. Steve wears two roles. He is a viewer on this platform. I am a viewer on this platform. Before I ever became a content creator or Steve became a content creator on a platform. And one of the things, I could speak this one for myself. One of the things that could kind of sort of get on my nerves is that, for example, like sometimes some viewers, and it's usually a viewer that's not a follower viewer, but some random viewer out of nowhere, all of a sudden they never saw you before, and all of a sudden they want practically your DNA. Where do you live? How do you get to live there? No, this and all that. Like really, like personal questions. And you know what, Steve? I could compare it to this, and this is a good analogy. Can you imagine all of us if we see a complete stranger on the street? It's as if we walked up to a complete stranger we never saw before in our life, and we're demanding, well, where do you live? How much rent do you pay? All this crazy stuff. And I have to admit, that's one of the things that I personally, it's annoying. And I don't get it. I don't get how people can't respect someone else's privacy just because the person is a content creator. They're doing their job, they're conveying messages, but other than being a person that conveys messages, they don't owe the viewer private information. They don't owe the viewer that. And I just don't understand why some viewers seem to think that they do, but they don't. Just saying, just saying. What do you think about that one, Steve?
Well, what I have to say about that is, well, I'll just start with me. Um, I do consider my okay. Now, on here, what I do talking to everybody is one thing, but take me away from this and put me out and about, everyday life, everyday living, my normal everyday doings, even indoors. Most people would never believe this about me. I'm actually socially selective. Most people don't see that. Well, how is he? People think, well, how is he socially selective if he has a YouTube channel and he doesn't have a problem running his mouth? No, most people don't realize growing up, at times, even now, I do have an introvert side to me. Socially selective is, like I mentioned, is correct. I won't talk to just anybody. And before I will, I have to warm up to that person. Not only warm up, this people may take this the wrong way, and I hope that they don't. And it's like a defense mechanism for me, and it does work. Somebody that I've never met, if they're in front of me, the first place I'm going to look is I'm going to look at your eyes because the eyes is the image of the soul. That's one.
Yes.
Also, if I can hear you talk, I'm going to pick up on your demeanor. I'm going to pick up on your body language because I study people, and it's to my advantage. It's not because I'm some weirdo whack job. Oh, did I say that? Well, anyway, sorry guys, but you know where I'm going with this. It's not that. That's a defense to me because how do I not know if I want to talk to that person? I have to warm up to you, and I want to hear you talk. Um, but one of the first places I'll go to is I'll look at your eyes. I don't,
Right.
and the thing of it is, even on a social media sense, on another platform that a lot of us use, um, I'm a little bit up in the air about talking to somebody on Messenger, even because, well, if you're friends with me, I can always go over and look at your profile pics. Believe it or not, I look at pictures of you or a person. I want to. This is where I go. I go to your eyes,
Right.
and that will tell me you're good or stay the heck away. One of the two.
It gives it
So,
away.
right. And not only that, if a person comments down below on one of my threads, I can pick up on you there too.
Right.
Now, I really don't know if that is a trait that I pick up from my mom. My mom was like that. She was good about sensing, intuition, and all that. But I also heard it from another avenue. I also heard, depending on your zodiac, that could reflect. Okay, me. Those that don't know, you already know my birthday. I've told you guys. I'm a Scorpio. Now, I was told that a Scorpio has that built into them to where they can read people. And I will say this, if anybody can vouch for that, and I think I might know of one subscriber that could, please let me know down in the comments because, again, like I said, I have heard that it can be a zodiac thing.
Right.
It could be a trait, which in my case, it's probably from both sides. I don't know. But, you know, there's just little things here and there that I try to pick up on. But I don't.
That's good.
Yeah. Now, how about
Can I mention? Go
what
ahead.
about you? Yeah? What about you? I mean, that's
Yes.
my end of it.
Thank you. Yes. What I wanted to mention is slightly like we're on topic, but just another thing like video content creators. We're video content creators. We are. This is our chosen field. This was our chosen path.
Mhm.
That does not mean that my siblings or my grandchildren or my other family members, they didn't choose this route. So when people want to know details, none of their beeswax. They didn't sign up for the platform.
No.
And I will always protect the privacy of my family.
Yeah.
That's the way it works. They didn't sign up for it. It's not fair to them.
I mean, don't get me wrong. In my case, yes, the subscribers out there that tune in daily to watch my stuff, our stuff,
Right.
a lot of you know where I'm at. You know the state that I live in. But as far as me giving out a phone number or an address or, detailed information, well, you know, we don't, one of the things about it is we don't live in a safe world anymore. We don't know who's who. Not that I'm saying,
No,
you
you're
know,
correct.
we don't
Unfortunately, you're
know,
correct.
right? We don't know who Tom from Jane from Dick,
Yes.
is anymore. We really don't. And,
No.
35, 40 years ago, 50 years ago, 60 years ago, now we're getting back into times that, I like, and 60, 65, completely different. It was a
Yes.
safer time. It was all right. to possibly give out that information. But now, if I'm going to give you my phone number, and believe you me, those that do get my phone number are very, very lucky to have it. I assure
Right.
you, out of 10 people, one, maybe, and this is a big if, maybe 2 people out of 10 people might get my number. That's how weary and apprehensive I can be about people.
Right.
So,
And it's also just a matter of principle, Steve. If the other folks that we, aforementioned, they didn't choose to get on a platform like we did. This was our choice. A person might be able to ask me a question, but you can't demand the answer because that has nothing to do with the agenda that I'm here for. If I'm here to give you helpful savings tips and tricks, it's not relevant to certain things. It's just
no, it's
not relevant. It's also common courtesy. I
Mhm.
mean, I'm not, on the other hand, I'm a viewer too. There are just things I would never, ever do as a viewer on this platform.
No,
I just
no.
would never, ever say certain things. Not that things were said. I just observed it on another person's comment section, and I'm like, wow, like, really? Did you like
Well,
just say that? I was like, oh,
actually, I look at it like this, not just say here, another social media
yeah,
platform that a lot of us use. I'm sure you
yes,
guys can figure it out. If it's my timeline, my page, I may use certain wording. I'm not necessarily saying profanity, but I will use certain wording on my page because it's my page. Now, if I'm on somebody else's thread, I will show them kind courtesy and respect. I'll use a different word. So, all right. Well, do you have anything else that you may want to add on
Um,
this? Or
well, yeah, well, it is. I just don't want it like misconstrued. Just you know how I love my folks. I love you guys, and I respect everybody's
right?
privacy. You'll never hear me, for example, probe. Right, Steve? You'll never see me probe questions. I
No,
mean, unless it's pertinent to the video. For example,
that's
if I'm
exactly
talking
right.
about canned soup, I'm going to ask a question about canned soup.
And soup.
But
Yep.
never do I, start, probing because I respect other people's privacy too.
hmm Probing, or I guess another word that probably a little more common is being, people being nosy,
Yes,
or sticking your nose in where it doesn't belong. Oh gosh.
right.
Now that's taking me back when I think about that. But right, I don't do that either. You
No,
know, at because not only am I a channel contributor, or put up my own content, I'm also a viewer because I do go to
that's
other
it.
channels, as an onlooker as well,
Right.
like they are to us. So yeah, bottom line is you just got to be careful out there. I want all of
And,
you know
and in
all,
fact, I want the viewers to be just as careful of what they're saying, even
that's
like in different right? On
that's
different channels. Watch what you say in comments. That's why there's always that like little disclaimer that this platform puts on about, protecting your, online safety, and privacy or whatever that says. You have to be, unfortunately, it's a different world today.
it is. Yeah, it's not like it was.
No,
It's not like it was when I was a teenager growing up in the 1980s, and a little bit 1990s as well. But and then in your
right.
case, when you were a teenager back in the 1970s, a whole other complete. Like I
Oh my
said,
word. It was a different world.
it
Yeah.
was. I always say it, and then I'll just say this right here, and we'll conclude. The 1980s specifically, when I look back at how much has changed in this world, the 1980s is the 1950s, if you think about it in comparison. It really is.
Truly.
I mean, I would give
I wish I
anything.
could rewind them back, Steve.
That's what I'm saying. I would give anything on this planet if I could grant a wish. I would go back to the 80s, kind of like Back to the Future. Back to the Future, he went from 1985 to 55. All right.
Right.
I would go from the year 2022 to say 1982, even though I was only 7, 8 years old, but still at that time. But all right. Well, I want to thank you, Jan, for stopping by and tuning in
Thanks
with
for
me.
having me here.
Of course, you're welcome. And I want to thank all of you for tuning in. And I hope everybody has a great remainder of their day. And like I said, be on the lookout for more content by me and of course by Jan. And we will see you next time. I hope you guys take care and have a great day. And we'll see you again soon. Bye.
Bye, everybody.